How many people have set a goal that they're going to get up in the morning at 5 a.m. possibly to run, right? You have evening meetings this week, you're going to get up to run. Your alarm goes off, it's raining, kind of cold, no one's going to really know. I think I'll just what? Snooze. I do this every day, right? I don't know why I just don't admit I'm not going to do it, right? So people need structure and they need support to enable them to achieve their goals. One of the biggest, fastest growing professions is a life coach and a personal fitness trainer. But do you really need someone to watch you do repetitions? Right? You pay someone $65 an hour to watch you warm up on a treadmill. What's that about? Why are people doing this in droves? Yeah, they need the accountability. Without it, they don't show up, right? I need to pay $5 an hour for me to show up to the gym. Our students need the same thing. Now, our current situation, not at every campus, but at some, or some campuses some days, not at others, is the student gets the vision, they catch the dream, and then nobody talks to them until orientation. By then, 50% have decided this is too hard. My parents aren't supportive. My friends think I'm insane. I already have 2 jobs. I have 3 kids. I live with my mom. There is no way I can come to school. And all the obstacles come up, and there's no one there to support them in that. And they forget the dream, it dissipates, and it dies, and they don't show up. So let's talk about what we can do differently and what's happening today. Going to a new school and a new environment is scary, especially for students who haven't felt successful in an academic environment in the past. The more outreach we do, the more they know us before the first day of class, the more likely they are to show up and feel comfortable. And when people feel comfortable and more at ease, they take action. When people are scared, they go home and they sit on their couch. Now, this is a big change, and there's been some talk and noise in the system. This got announced to the admissions folks yesterday. A couple of observations. I've been doing my homework, and I've been observing student services and sitting in student services and asking lots of questions of many people in the room. And the feedback I'm getting is this. The NSA role, New Student Advisor role, has taken a shift away from the student where it needs to be and onto paperwork. And the new student advisors are spending an exorbitant amount of time completing the paperwork for applications. So rather than calling students and saying, I am so excited you're coming here. This is the best decision you've ever made. I'm the person who's going to be working with you to help your dream become a reality. I've been assigned to you, and I'm going to stick to you until your dream is real from now to the day of graduation. Instead of making those phone calls and having those conversations, they're saying, I need a copy of your driver's license, and okay, you missed a disclosure, let me get that signed, okay. And the back of the application, you need to initial that. That is not a powerful conversation. That is not a conversation that's going to take motivation, it's going to create motivation or action. Student services is around creating action, connection, and motivation. So we're going to have student services focused on people. I'll talk more about that in a second. Admissions is going to be completing the files. There's a meeting tomorrow morning at what time to talk about this? 7 a.m. So for those of you who are sitting here thinking, well, that sounds really great in theory, but I don't really know how this is going to work, and my student services person, I don't know, and I don't really want them talking to my students, and I don't really trust admissions to do the paperwork because they really get it wrong, and I'm just going to end up doing it anyway, and then we're going to have a drop, and I'm going to be blamed. If you're having that conversation, anybody having that conversation? Yeah, you should be here at 4 because you need the remedial program. No, you should be here at 7. So today I'm giving you the big picture and the vision. Tomorrow morning at 7 is, well, how is this going to work? I talk to my advisor regularly. She's supportive and wants me to be successful. She calls me once a month. She knows what my dreams are. She's read all my paperwork. When I talk to her, I never have to start over. She knows exactly why I'm here. She knows what my fears are. She knows what my life looks like when it's in breakdown. She knows that my mom doesn't really support this. She knows I'm totally freaked out about the money, but she's keeping me in the game. I talk to her all the time. There she is now. The timing is within a week of enrolling, a student services person reaches out and has a conversation. Now, some of you are sitting here thinking, I can't do that. I have one person. That's not going to work. Or I don't have the right person. Or they're not inspiring and they're not motivating and they're not going to get the student on the court and out of the stands in their life. Well, that's going to be a conversation for tomorrow. And my question to you is how? How do you make this work and how do you make it happen? Maybe it's your program directors who make the calls. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's your director of admissions. Maybe it's your team. Maybe you share the wealth. It's not who makes the call. It's that the outreach gets made, right? Connection, support, relationship. Connection, support, relationship. They may go to student financing or the business office and say, I'm having trouble making payments, and that person may not walk them to career development. They kind of log it, and that's the end of the conversation. Or they say to their PD, I don't think this program's for me. I just don't have any talent, and I thought I had talent, but I'm struggling, and I think I should be a cop. Maybe that conversation dies there. So the purpose of SRM is to create consistency in our communication with the student, and it's about service. Service, 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 and students feeling served. So I'll give you an example, and some of you can probably relate to this. On my way in this morning, I was on the phone, and my BlackBerry is having challenges, and little type A girl does not do well with BlackBerries not working. And I had gone into a store, and the guy said, I can't help you, we don't fix BlackBerries, but I'm going to code your account, I'm going to note your account, and then when you call the BlackBerry help desk, they'll know that you've come in, and they will automatically send you a new phone. You don't need to do anything. That's good, right? Good service? Very good. So I do that, right? And then I call the help desk, and they go, we don't see any notes in your account. Can you spell your last name for me? And what are the last 4 digits of your social security number? And then I have a conversation. You know what I mean? So who's had this happen to them? Yeah, it's terrible, right? It's terrible service. So the purpose of documenting notes is, one, it's better service for the student, and we know them, right? Even if you've never met them, you'll know them. If your staff win the lottery and move to Tahiti, there will be all the contact with the student. If someone goes on vacation and someone else is kind of subbing and carrying that caseload, there's all the history. Also, Scott mentioned this morning, you'll be sending directed letters in a timed way, which will be automated for you, which is awesome service, both for you and for the student.